My name is Ursula Jess. I'm talking on behalf of my father-in-law, John. He suffers from vascular dementia. And we had him out shopping in Ballynahinch, and his heart started to race. We took him to the GP office, or the GP clinic. He was put on a heart machine, and the heart ambulance was called. We waited 1 hour for the ambulance to come. We were in the surgery, so we weren't panicking. We were brought to Downpatrick Hospital, which we didn't wait too long to be brought into, to be seen to. They were brilliant with him. They asked, because he is a diabetic, they give him his food straight away. He was brought into a cubicle straight away. There was no medication needed at the time. The staff were absolutely excellent with him. When they asked John questions and he couldn't answer them, they then asked, was it okay for us to answer them for him? They had respect for him. Then they done all the tests with him, and he was going to be admitted. But they said that there was no beds, that they were allowed to allocate in Downpatrick Hospital. Lagan Valley was rang, and they had a bed, but there was no staff to look after him because he's 24-hour care. So we were offered, or John was offered, a bed in Dundonald Hospital. Well, it wasn't a bed, it was a trolley. And he would have to stay in it all night and possibly all day, the next day. So my husband and his daughter decided to sign him out because we weren't letting him stay in a trolley all night. Downpatrick Hospital was absolutely fantastic with him. They rang me the next day and they asked for me to bring him back again, which I did do. And they monitored him. It ended up that he had a lung infection. But the care that he got in Downpatrick was absolutely excellent. When they gave him his food, he spilt his milk. And I used to be a cleaner years ago in the Downshire Hospital. I was absolutely delighted because I rubbed the floor to take the milk off, and there was no dirt come off it whatsoever. It's spotless. And I watched every time a patient was took out, a man came in and washed the beds after them, which you don't see too often now in the big hospitals. So we were absolutely delighted with the care that he got in Downpatrick Hospital, but we were very, very disappointed that he was being sent to a trolley at 10 o'clock at night. So that's why we decided to ring up and complain about it. There's nothing else, I don't know what else to say.
Okay. There were a couple of things that you had said in your written statement. One was that they were very responsive to the need. I think you'd said that your father-in-law had type 2 diabetes.
Yes, he has, yes.
And was that something that they already knew, or was it simply that they asked those questions and you were able to...
No, they asked whenever we come in, and that's what I say. John was given his food at the regular times, that what he needs to keep his diabetes under control.
Okay. I suppose the other question I was going to ask is, you had a really good experience at the Down Hospital and chose not to because of... did they indicate to you that if you'd moved to the emergency department, for example, at Dundonald, that he would have been put on a trolley, or was that a kind of statement of that's what's probably going to happen? Or
no,
did they have some kind of mechanism where they'd already talked to the hospital and been told, oh, there's a... Yes,
the nursing manager in Downpatrick Hospital was trying to get John a bed, but we were told there was no beds in Dundonald. He would have to go to a trolley.
Right. Okay.
So...
And in terms of, it must have been quite a difficult decision. For example, if your father-in-law had been much worse than if his condition had deteriorated when he'd gone into the emergency...
Well, Downpatrick Hospital assured us that if it did, we could ring 999 and we would get an ambulance straight away.
Okay.
So they did.
So, in effect, you did the kind of balance of, as long as we knew that if things...
There was always a backup if we took him home, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no, I don't think I have any further questions. I think it's very clear. Marion?
Mrs. Jess, I'm just wondering, is there anything that you feel could have been done for your father-in-law which would have improved your overall experience of the services?
Well, I think of the beds that was empty in Downpatrick Hospital, that they were allowed to allocate them, and he was going to get really good care in Downpatrick Hospital. I think, you know, the beds should have been allowed to be given out. When we all know, you know, there was beds there, but they weren't allowed to give them out.
Thank you very much.
I don't have any questions, Ursula. I
That's
just wanted
it.
to thank you. I just wanted to thank you very much for taking the trouble to help us. Thank you.
That's great, thank you.
And sorry, one final question. You said that you had actually made a complaint about the Lagan, that there wasn't somewhere that you could have passed to Lagan Valley. Can you just take us through what your complaint was and how that was dealt with, and whether you were satisfied with that part of the procedure?
Yes, I was very satisfied. I rang the human rights people, and they were very, very good with me. You know, I just told them what I felt, you know, that it wasn't right that an 83-year-old man with vascular dementia was going to be put in a trolley, and that I thought it was very unfair that there was beds in a local hospital that he wasn't allowed to be took in.
And what was the response you got to that?
Well, they were very good. You know, they said, you know, they rang me back and stuff like that. So, and then they asked me would I come to this meeting. And
No, sorry. You said you'd made a complaint to the hospital. Did I not?
no, I didn't. No,
Oh, right. Sorry, you didn't use the complaint service. Sorry,
No.
I picked that up wrongly.
I didn't have a complaint with Downpatrick. It was
No, I thought you'd said something about Lagan Valley, but maybe I picked that.
no. Lagan Valley had a bed, but there was no staff because John's vascular dementia needs 24-hour care.
Okay, but you didn't make any complaint about the fact that they couldn't provide a service.
No.
Sorry, that's my fault. Okay, no, that's really helpful. Thank you. It's really important that we hear both good experiences as well as adverse experiences, and it's really, really important for us that we hear from the general public, both in terms of those who've used the service, but also the family members who've been there with their loved ones. So thank you very much indeed for coming in this afternoon.
Thank you.